So we're gonna check out an actual Goodwill after the Goodwill bins were actually kind of a bust for us, so hopefully we can find some goodies inside here. Captain Ron. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sure you would appreciate if I picked this up. The story behind that is my mother used to rent videos every Friday night or something, and she kept getting this movie over and over and over again, and I told her we already saw that, and she was like, no, I don't think we have. And every time we'd get it, she's like, oh yeah, I guess I remember this. Oh goodness. $5 for all these albums. I think I'm gonna pass. I have more cookbooks than I know what to do with. I probably shouldn't be thrifting for them right now, but here we are. Mastering the Art of French Cooking. I believe this is the same book they used in that movie Julia and Julie, and I really like that movie, so I thought that was kind of an interesting find. It doesn't matter what Goodwill I go to, they always put the books just when you walk in and they distract me every single time. No way! I found a box set of the Boxcar Children. Now this is not my normal Goodwill that I go to. This is the one that is right next to the local Goodwill bins, and I figured I'd give it a try since I had never been. So far so good. I'm seeing some things that I like. Now I have found these premium cracker tins before, but never in this nice of condition. It was only $5, and for the condition it's in, it actually was a pretty reasonable price. Also, I've been looking for these Trivets to complete my basket wall, so I was happy to see those there. I spied this Korean Ives glass bake divided casserole dish. This is from around the 1960s. They were only asking $4 for it. There was unfortunately some blemishes on the inside, and I kind of tend to steer away from anything that the food would actually touch if there's any kind of divots and stuff like that, so I did not pick that up. These are Coppercraft Guild mid-century wall plates, and they actually sell for an okay profit. They go anywhere between 10 to up to 20 a piece. I kind of made a mistake there. That kind of style items I don't typically sell very well, so I decided to pass on it, but I kind of wish I didn't now. They had a pretty decent selection of knickknacks. Let me know in the comments below if you like knickknacks, and if you do, what ones are you drawn to the most or like to collect? For me, it's anything vintage Japan, especially if it's kitschy with those big painted eyes. Those are definitely my favorites. I do collect those. I have a hard time reselling those type. I will resell a lot of Japan ones, but if they're the kitschy, big-eyed ones, I usually keep them. I tell you, it was quite nice to be here looking at everything nice and organized and displayed after just leaving the Goodwill bins. Let me know if you guys prefer digging for treasures such as at the bins, or if you just like to go in a store like this and just take it off the shelf and throw it in your cart very easily. Now I loved this vintage Avon phone here. It is a old perfume bottle, and it's this beautiful milk glass. I could see someone decorating with that currently. Now, of course, Avon makes a bunch of different types of perfume bottles like that, and I think they're okay to pick up. You just have to kind of know what is trending, what would look good, and the style that people decorate with in their homes today. Now, I don't pick up nautical decor a whole lot, but it does sell okay in my antique booth, so every now and again, if I see something cute or unique, I will pick it up. Where I'm in Maine, there's a lot of it out there, so it really has to be something that is a little different. They had this cute little bird music box here, and I almost didn't see it, but then I spied a beautiful frog planter in the back. Unfortunately, there was a chip on the flower. It was only $3. Let me know below if you would have still picked it up with that chip in it. No, I was not grabbing the metal plate behind there. It was sitting on top of this mid-century swan. Now, these type of wall decor pieces sell really well, and I all of a sudden saw the second one over there and I ran to it. So I did find a mate. They obviously sell better if you do have the set, so that was a great find. I found some interesting chalkware pieces down here. These are wall decor, and they are in this copper color. The copper stuff is kind of coming back in style. I, again, should have got those Copper Guild. It would have been nice with these as well. But it's just one of those things, you know, sometimes you just don't always make the right decisions. You know, you can't always buy it all, so these are pretty nice. These little trivets here, the iron trivets, and I like how they had the sayings on it instead of just pictures. Those are a little bit different. These also are mid-century leaf art. They have this really stunning vintage pasta tin over on the side here. It looks like you could put spaghetti in it very easily. It seemed to be in pretty good shape. I really love the colors to it. I was excited to check out the coffee mugs, and their selection was a little bit slimmer than I was expecting, but it was fun to look at. What kind of coffee mugs are you guys into? Do you like them to all match? Do you like them to be kind of funny and have unique sayings on them? Do you like them just to be pretty like this with some flowers on it, or maybe a cat or something? I would be interested to know what kind of coffee mugs you collect. One thing I always do stay on the lookout for as a reseller is anything with cats on it. They sell very well for me in my booth and online. This was unfortunately all scratched up, so I don't think that would sell very well as a cutting board. These little placemats with the little duck family on it was absolutely adorable. I love the colors on them. And they were asking, I think, $4 for the set. Not too bad of a price. What is your favorite vintage glass color? I really run into the amber glass a lot, and I personally like to collect the green. I really like to pick up pink if I see it as well, and the blue tend to be the three that I really like to get, but the amber seems to be the most common for me to come across. I really like the looks of this trivet here with the pink birds on it. There was a bit of a nick on the corner. They were only asking $2 for it though. This rooster caught my eye. It looks Japan to me. I turned it on the bottom. I saw it was a salt and pepper shaker. Obviously, this isn't a shaker. It looks like on the arms of it would have had the salt and pepper shaker hanging off of it. Did not see those around anywhere, unfortunately. They had a good deal on these etched sort of hurricane style glasses here. They were only asking $1 a piece. They seem to be in pretty good shape. It was nice that there was multiples of them there, which always tends to sell better if you have obviously a complete set. Something that I do like to pick up if I see singles are the vintage 1970s glasses such as this, because they do go with picture sets, and I kind of just pick them up in pieces and then create the sets as I, come across them. This is another one. This is a smaller juice size glass, so I do pick those up when I see them. Now, I'm not one that's typically for teddy bears, but these were really adorable even to me. And my general rule of thumb, if you come across something unique like this and it's in good shape, I will tend to pick it up. If you guys want to know more about those glasses, be sure you are subscribed. Go ahead and click that subscribe button right now, and that way you guys can catch the haul video that will follow up this video tomorrow. They had a pretty decent selection of shot glasses here. And with shot glasses, I feel like if you're selling online, you really have to have some sort of a set to really be able to sell it. You're not going to really make a lot of profit off of just selling one usually. And then, if it's a more unique one, you could make your own setup of something. If you saw like various animals or like traveling ones, sometimes that will work, but you really probably should lot them out. I'm not someone that will typically look up comps on items while I'm in the thrift store. I kind of just like to pick up things that I'm drawn to, but I did look up those Harley Davidson mugs real quick because they look like something that might be worth something to me. I know Harley Davidson is kind of a thing that, has a good following. They actually don't sell for a whole lot. A set of two recently sold for $13, and that was with shipping included, so I decided to go ahead and leave those behind. If you're new to my channel, I mostly am drawn to mid-century and vintage items. This is a mid-century partridge in a pear tree tray, usually used for a bar cart, and I thought that was really fun. It wasn't in bad shape, really. Overall, I was really happy with this Goodwill's selection today with the vintage items. This is a 1970s wall piece here with the chipmunks and the birdhouse, super cute. I actually saw my first NFL game at the Buffalo Bills Stadium. I went to see the Cleveland Browns. That is my team. And it's actually a really nice stadium. It's in a kind of country setting. I was surprised when we went. We didn't feel like we were in the city or anything at all. It was kind of just out in the woods. It was kind of surprising. I really liked that. The stadium kind of had that hometown feel. It seems like lately I've been finding swan items everywhere. I met up with my husband and kids in the toy aisle, and right off the bat I spied this vintage 1980s kaleidoscope. I was trying to show you guys what it looked like into the camera, but it couldn't really work it with one hand. I'll try to do that again later. Hit the thumbs up if you like beards. And I asked my husband if he could check that out, make sure it worked, and it works out fine, so that was pretty exciting. So this is the joys of filming with one hand and only having one hand to operate with. I found something on the bottom I wanted, and then I saw these two picture frames in glass stacked on top of each other, and I managed to get them down without breaking, so that was a win for me. This, I was kind of curious if it went with my squirrel picture that I picked up. It's definitely the same kind of material. It looks a little bit different, but it kind of looks like the birdhouse post that would go with the squirrel, so I'm guessing that's a set. I'll have to look into that though. I really wanted to pick up this set of roosters in the chicken wire to resell in my antique booth because these types of items do really well, but they were so filthy on the inside and I would have had to remove the chicken wire, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to clean them out and get the chicken wire put back in an okay fashion, so I decided I just didn't want to deal with it and I left it behind. Now, vintage trash cans are something I will pick up if they're in good condition, and the reason is because a lot of people that are restyling their bathrooms that are trying to do a more mid-century look really need that finishing touch. It looks a little odd to just throw a stainless steel trash can in the mix. So I do pick them up every now and again, and I'm not sure if that one's too old, but it definitely has the look. This vintage doily stretcher was something I was super interested in, but I looked up comps in the store because I wasn't familiar with what it might be worth. They only go for about maybe $10 to $20, and then they're super expensive to ship. I really like this homemade card table here. There was a couple cards on it that had been scratched off there. You can kind of see in the center. I had it in my cart and my husband kind of talked me out of it. I was going to put it in the booth, but he's very adamant about things having to be kind of perfect condition, and I'm kind of okay with some flaws, so I don't know. Let me know if you guys think I should have still got that or not. I actually sold one of these trays somewhat recently. Mine was on a Lazy Susan though, so I was kind of contemplating if I wanted to just get this where it was just a standalone, and those things are such a pain to photograph to list as well, so I decided not to get it this time. This vintage Japan soap dish was kind of interesting. I always do like to take a look at the blankets and towels area real quickly before I leave. I don't often find too much there. A lot of the handmade ones tend to be kind of pilly and stained and some holes in it. I don't really have time to repair any of that, and I'm not even really sure if I would know how to. And I do like to see if they have any vintage towels. Those do sell fairly well, so I do tend to glance for those as well. So how do you guys feel about thrifting pillows? Is that something you think is kind of gross? Do you think there's a way to sanitize them properly? Or do you just think stay clear of them? I was kind of in love with this flannel hat here. It was a bit stained on the inside, and I don't know, I'm not a fan of buying things with sweat stains in it. This 2 Gramps Brewing with a mustache hat was really cute too. I kind of wish I would have got that. It was just kind of fun. I will look at the bags sometimes, depending what the section looks like. Sometimes they're just so crammed in there, I don't want to deal with it. But I tend to just look for unique ones, anything that I personally would wear. I know there's people that niche in it, and I don't, so I don't really know what to look for. I do know a lot of people like those Vera Bradley cloth ones like I just looked at, and normally when I see them at the thrift store they're at about $10 a piece, which seems a little pricey and hard for resale. I'm not sure exactly how much they sell for, but I don't usually pick them up if they're $10 a piece. I don't really like them per se, but I know some people do, so I do look at those ones often if, try to look for a deal. So let me know in the comments below if you think the blue-bowed goose is ever going to make a comeback. It's really popular from the 1980s, and it seems everything comes back around, right? So as I'm seeing more of these items in the thrift shop, I have been picking up some of them and seeing how they do. I even spied a blue-billed goose letter holder. I hit the jackpot on the blue-billed goose today. I found this 1970s boy needle master kit, and the outside case wasn't in the best condition. It was very grimy, some of the cloth was kind of peeling back, and unfortunately it seemed like some of the pieces were missing inside. It was almost complete. I did glance at comps on that when I was in the store because I'm not familiar with it. And the last one that sold was listed for $20 and they accepted a best offer, so I'm assuming it was less than that. It didn't seem like it would be worth it, especially where mine wasn't as in nicest condition. They had a few nice stamp sets there. I believe they were Melissa and Doug. And they did have a vintage Betty Crocker recipe box down below here as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this. Be sure to hit the like on your way out if you did. And make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch the haul of everything I purchased today in tomorrow's video. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!